Today we're going to be working on a fireplace mantle, start to finish, in a few short, easy steps. Always want to make sure that your crown is sitting in the correct nesting position. Otherwise, you cannot line up any miter or any outside or inside miter. Nesting position is when your crown sits flat to the back of itself and also flat on the back itself.
Right here and right here, your crown should be resting flat and flat because this mimics your ceiling, this mimics your wall.
We have a cap on top of this fireplace, crown surrounding it, 8/9 finishing the face of the fireplace cap itself. So right now, I'm going to make a couple marks so I can get the correct depth for the shelf that's going to go on top. Here, once you get your crown in the proper nesting position, you can take a measurement on the deck itself for how far it's actually going to come out here. So that lets us know that the top of our shelf here has to come out at least to here. Now I'll go about an 1/8 of an inch farther just to make sure all our clearances are right, and then the 8/9 will wrap the top of the shelf and finish up the crown middle. Ooh, there's the wall.
What are you doing there?
Scribing the wall so I can get this a little bit tighter. We got a curving wall right here, so I need, it's not straight like my cut is, so we need to go ahead and compensate that a little bit so that our shoe molding can cover the top. We were just hitting here first. So simply just took my pencil and wrote it along the wall so that it would accurately draw the same line on here, so that when I cut this line, it's gonna allow this to sit closer to the wall, which is gonna make this gap smaller. I'm just I'm transferring my mark above this so I know where I need to cut it as far as the actual facing itself. Put the crown in the correct nesting position. And here. The crown was hitting the bottom, and I want to give just a little bit of free play. So one, I'm making a nice line. Two, I'm going a little bit further than that line, so we have a little bit of free play if we need to roll the crown up or down to make it light. Making sure my angles, I know my angles, so that when I cut my crown, will outside cut. supposed to lift it up once
Why is that?
to make sure everything bonds properly. Sometimes it won't stick to the bottom or the top if you don't go up or down a couple times. You know, so if you go up or down a couple times, it making sure it adheres to the bottom and the top, just in case there was a little dust or something that didn't adhere in that first plant window. I'm just leveling out the top. So I went from my highest point, which was that back corner, leveled to this point, and now I'll level all the way around, so that way we have a level surface all the way on top. Next, I'm gonna line up my crown up. Don't want a gap like that though. Okay, so we're gonna go to the saw, we're gonna correct that a little bit. Put a little 1 or 2 degree angle. That we found out earlier for the top of this, we're both at 45.6. So if we cut our outside angles on these pieces at a true 22, because these are 45-degree angles, then our miters will not quite meet right. We need to go a little bit over the 22.5. I'm going to go with 23 to compensate for that, just a slight bit over 45. I always line up my inside mark with my 1-inch line. You get a little bit more accurate of a measurement that way than trying to hold it from the end of the tape, because that fluctuates depending on whether or not you're hooking it on something or butting it against the wall. So I always like to go to 1 and just add that 1 to my measurement. That looks pretty good. Maybe we need to adjust that. Alright, now I did my job properly, we'll be good here. And those are going to meet up beautifully. So I am very comfortable with that. I dry fit them, and I know that I'm going to be able to manipulate them to where I need to, and everything's going to look nice. And I'll make sure to always glue your miters. Otherwise, it will crack, and you'll be mad. No run, no drip formula, which makes it so it doesn't drip all over my wall or my trim, which I like. Now the A9 will match the same angles as our crown. Here's the mantle molding for the front of the fireplace. Just do a ½ inch reveal all the way around. ½ inch in, ½ inch in, ½ inch down. Yeah, I have to go in a little bit on here because this is a little bit off, more off than I would like to see it. But that's very common in carpentry, you know what I mean? A good trim carpenter is going to do their best to deal with the situation without making it out. So sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
Depends on what you're dealing with.
Right. Depends how bad the job before me is. Remember, anything you leave on the miter will most likely get painted and be seen if you don't clean it up now. Also, you're going to have an exposed end of shoe that you're going to be able to see. Doesn't matter if it's on your floor, on top of your fireplace, or anywhere else. Always put a little half, what we call chamfer, okay, on it. That makes it just so it's not a blunt edge and it's going to be a little bit nicer when it's painted. It's not going to look like somebody just left it ugly blunt edge. Now, what I wanted to talk about up on this top portion is where we have that wall waiting. What we're going to do here, this is where we still have our wall, okay? Even if I were to cut this completely perfect, you're still going to see that in the wall, okay? The reason why I want to keep this piece of chew here especially is because we're going to cheat it out. We're going to try to make it a little bit straighter so that when they do this caulk line, that wave in the wall just kind of disappears. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down it. I'm going to what's called sight it to see if I have a good straight line or if I need to, shim it out in certain areas before I nail it down.
And are you using the shims to create that straight line?
I'm doing that to help create the straight line. I'm not going to be able to make it completely straight because it's going to bring it too up from the wall. But I believe I can do it within reason so that 99% of people aren't going to notice this little dip in the wall. That doesn't look too bad. Still got a little curve in it. I think with that happy medium we're going to find. So nail out where my shims are. Cut those off and we want those to stay so that flex and break our caulk line when you're down the line. That's why we nail them off, leave them in, cut them off, and make the caulk line. Stuff. I make sure that it's any time nailing into the wall. You can always, if you want to, as much as you can. It's going to help prevent your caulk from cracking. It's going to prevent your miter from possibly splitting over time. So it's very important to take